Hey everyone, my name's Kristen Gosinski. I'm going to be your instructor for English this fall 2020. I'm really excited to get started. I hope you're just as excited as well. Just wanted to provide you with a short intro introducing myself to you because it's really important that we get to know each other and we get to know each other not only within the classroom but as human beings as well, right? Because that's the only way people can communicate by recognizing themselves in other people too, right? So as far as the things, the compulsory, why am I qualified to teach you kind of questions. I know I look young, but I was in college for like 10 years, trust me. So I have three bachelor's degrees, one in English, one in history, and one in classics. So I really like taking the historical and sort of the information that was provided by earlier time periods and sort of seeing how it intersects with things that are published later, right? So I took those three different bachelor's degrees and I kind of mushed them all together when I worked on my master's at the University of South Florida to really be able to further understand the time periods I was working in and to understand the context provided by earlier texts. All right, so essentially what I'm trying to tell you in so many words is I am one big nerd. All right, so if you ever want to talk about nerd stuff, I'm here. If you want to talk about other stuff too, I have other hobbies. I'm human just like you guys. So, as far as hobbies go, I tend to enjoy reading. Big surprise there, right? I also enjoy playing video games. My attention span for them hasn't been super great as of late, but I am dying to get back to my Wii and finish up Zelda Twilight Princess. I was a little late to the Wii. I only got it about 3 months ago. So I am slowly working through it during this quarantine that we're in. As far as other hobbies, I enjoy, right now, I am refurbishing a vintage old bike. A vintage old bike, a little redundant, don't you think? A vintage road bike is what I meant to say. And I'm sort of learning about bicycles as I go, so that's kind of cool. I'm awful at riding them, so once it gets finished, I don't know if I'll be able to ride it down my block without falling off, but I'm going to give it a go, right? So if you ever want to talk about anything like that, I'm here for that. All right. So please don't hesitate to ever reach out. I have two dogs. One is named Buster, one's named Toby. If they were in this room, I would hold them up to the camera. Toby would be very upset at being held up, but I would do it anyway. And then I'd give him a treat later, of course. Got to make him happy after that. Buster would probably lick the camera. He's such a little showboater. But those guys, they're my best friends, especially during quarantine. So, have to give them a shout out in the video. Now, switching tack to talking about our class a little bit, we are in a fully online medium, which means that we have some complications, right? There isn't that, class session where everybody comes together and always talks about it, but we're trying to fix that. So, the way that I'm trying to fix that is by sending out a survey. You'll notice that there's a link to one in the announcement that contains this link as well. And in that survey, it's going to ask you the best time to meet as a class, right? What time works best for you, Monday through Friday, and there's a morning, afternoon, evening session. Okay, choose which combination works best for you and submit the survey, and then I'll pick, the one that has the most votes for a meeting for our class. Okay. Um, so please do that for me. Now, those meetings are not required, but they are strongly recommended. So I will ask that you please at least try to come to some of them. I know this is a fully online class, so you might not have bargained for a meeting, but it's really important that we have this sort of community, okay, which, as I said before, seems to be lacking in an online environment. All right, so besides that meeting, we'll also have multiple videos a week to help you work through assignments, help you understand the rationale behind things. For me, I'm not the type of person that's going to say, do this thing because I said so. I'm going to say, I'm asking you to do this because it benefits you in X, Y, and Z ways. And that's what that video is going to show you. And the videos will also show you how, your writing will be enhanced by using these methods. Okay. Now, I do want to point out that in this class, I'm only providing you with, one perspective, right? And I recognize that. So, there are other ways to write things, but make sure that you are, kind of taking into consideration the recommendations that I'm making for you, because this is, a skill that I've been honing for the last decade, and well, or longer. And I really think that I found the key. Okay, so we'll take a little bit more of a formulaic approach, but it'll help you kind of unpack your ideas as you go rather than just sort of jump